Good morning. Welcome back to Johnson Branch Farm. It is a much better day out today weather-wise. Man, that was really some storm we got yesterday. Storm Fred came through North Georgia yesterday, and we got a lot of rain. There's been a lot of flooding in the area. We have a pretty big river that runs through our town, and it's flooded, so that's not really ever a good thing. But we seem to make it out okay here. We didn't have any major trees fall or power outages or any major flooding to any of our main areas, so we are good with that. We did go last night after the rain had pretty much subsided, or so we thought, and we checked down at the pond and the creek. We've had some drainage issues with the pond, so Aaron wanted to go double check that, and I'll show you the footage I got last night. I was having some camera issues, and then the rain was starting to come back in, so I didn't get too much. But this morning, after I finish the animals, I want to go walk through and check on the garden, because I didn't get to do a thorough walkthrough of that yesterday. So here is that footage of what I took last night of us checking out the pond and the creek after Tropical Storm Fred came through. You'll have to excuse all this. Been working in the kitchen all day. So we had Tropical Storm Fred come by, and I think it's pretty much made its way through. So we're down here at the garden and the creek looking at everything. We've had some drainage issues with our pond, so Aaron really wanted to come check that out, but man, there's a lot of water running through here. I think one report I saw said that we've got close to 6 inches in just a few hours, so it's pretty crazy. Whoa, you guys be careful in there. That's rushing pretty good. Gracie, don't you go in the creek, okay?
Gracie, stay out of the creek.
Oh. Grandma and Grandpa saw that we were over here. All this water's overflowing from the spring that Aaron's over there trying to unclog. That spring that he's over there right now, that he's at, there's a pipe that runs underneath the ground, and it feeds into the pond, and then it overflows and connects into the main creek. It's completely overflowed right now, so he thinks there might be a clog in it just from all the pressure of the water coming through.
I need to take the right over to the barn room. It's sucking down now.
Yeah, was it clogged?
Yeah, that screen I put over it, it just kept getting covered up with leaves, and it was, as you can see, just kind of overflowing.
Yeah, and then it's flowing down.
I bet it's ripping coming out of that pipe now. Oh yeah. Look at this. That is a lot of water coming out of there. A lot of water coming out of there.
This is our overflow. So if the pond gets too high, it can drain through this pipe, which goes in the concrete and comes out here. And you can see it's just rushing out and it's leaking up over. This is normally dry. Yeah, so everything is pretty wet. Alright, one thing I also want to mention is I had mentioned in yesterday's video about Faith, my dairy goat's milk supply going down, and the people I got them from have been a huge help to me with goats. I'm totally new with all this. This is my first time owning livestock, let alone something that produces milk. So he had suggested that I offer free choice kelp. I sprinkle kelp on their food, but he said I needed to be offering it free choice, and one way that you can tell that they're mineral deficient is if they chew on the trees, if they try to eat the tree bark, which they do. We just thought that was something goats did, because goats have the reputation of being destructive and eating everything and anything. So we just kind of figured that was them doing their little goaty thing. But turns out it's not. So lesson learned. And if you're in the same situation, you may want to look into that. So I did just put out free choice kelp. And I'm hoping that will not just increase her milk supply. That would be an added bonus. But I really want to make sure they're getting the proper nutrition that they need. We all deserve that, even the little goaties. He also said that they've had goats lactate for years that they've milked, and that that's not uncommon, that she shouldn't be trying to dry up. It's not that she's drying up because she's been lactating for a year. In other words, he thinks it's more like she's just not getting enough minerals, and that's what's causing her milk to not come in like it used to. So hopefully by adding the kelp, we will be able to keep her going, because I love her and she's so easy to milk. She's such a good girl. So I'm going to tell myself, yesterday when I was out here, I was like, what could be eating the tops of my tomato? Like, what's big enough to eat that? Y'all, it would be a hornworm. Crawling up there and munching on this thing. So we got to find him, get him out of here. But it does look like the tomatoes are struggling. Like they're kind of getting like a touch of blight maybe. Like, I won't be bringing this variety back. This is Wascapion. I'll flash it on the screen. It's like it's a yellow tomato. It gets like a peach fuzz on it. I grew them last year. They were pretty tasty, but they did the exact same thing. They just got, oh, that's not it. They just got this like wilty, diseased look really quick. So they're going on the no-go list. So all in all, I don't think the garden withstood any major storm damage. I've got some flowers over there that have fallen, but also those were getting really heavy. It looks like everything that was really heavy just couldn't hold the weight of the storm. They're getting so heavy that when I had them tied, they're just sliding. So I'm retying them a little bit tighter, and I'm going through and I'm cutting off like stuff like this that's like dead and gross. Trying to get more airflow into here. I have to do a little bit of research, so I'm open to suggestions, but I think blight is hitting the tomatoes. It's been an extremely, I say that a lot because it has been a very, very wet year, and that's taking a toll. I think sometimes it just is going to happen and you have to roll with it, which is one reason why I overplant to kind of accommodate and make up for that. But I could totally be wrong. If I am, please tell me, because I don't want to misinform anybody. I'm learning this as I go. I'm learning this with everybody, so share your thoughts. So because I wasn't sure what was going on with my tomatoes, I do think they are starting to get blight, but I also thought that maybe they were at the end of their season. So I contacted my aunt, who works for and manages a local organic farm, and asked where they're at with their tomatoes right now. And she said their tomatoes are doing the exact same thing, that they are just reaching the end of their season, and the plants are definitely winding down and showing signs of dying off. So even though this could be blight setting in, it's just also the fact that the tomatoes are reaching the end of their life cycle, and that's not something that I can control or treat. Things like this basil are also just on their way out. I've got some like new growth right there. So I'm just going to trim these and really prune these down and see what they do. Because they're looking like they might bounce back. I'm going to give them a chance anyway. If they don't, I didn't lose anything. I was going to pull them anyway. So I'm just going to prune these down. Like, look, right there, if you can see it, is new growth. So let's see. Let's see what it does. I could totally be wrong, but I'm going to try it. And just wish them luck. My zinnias are taking over the world, as well as my tomatoes. So I'm gonna get to work. I'm just gonna be tying these up. Nothing exciting. I mean, I think it's exciting. And harvest tomatoes. I am thankful we survived another storm. Everything has made it through. And I hope you're staying dry wherever you are. And if you need some wet weather, I am praying that you get it and that your gardens flourish no matter where you are and what conditions you're in. May the Lord bless and keep you, and I will see you on the next video.